Hi, how are you? This is Dr. G. Herald. I just wanted to say hello to you today, and I have a word in my heart, and I just wanted to say a couple of words to you. And the word is not to be weary. Not to be weary. Because I was reading in this passage and Hebrew 12, and I was looking at the verse 5, and it says, "And have you forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as a sons? My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord. Not be weary when reproved by him, by God. For the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and chastises every son whom he receives." So what I'm trying to say to you today, I'm not going to be long, but I just have the word in my heart, and I just wanted to say hello. Do not go weary. Whatever going on in your life, you see, whatever happening in your house, in your life, God says for you not to be weary. Because sometimes he allows certain things to happen because he looks at you as a son. Because he loves you so much. He wants you to be ready. He wants you to be strong. Listen to that. My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord. Sometimes it just allows you to be disciplined. Because if you have a son or a daughter that you love, you would definitely, when they're going away, they're doing something that's not right, you would talk to them. You would help them. You would hold their hands and talk to them. This is why he said, do not go weary. When you get in discipline, do not regard that lightly, because he loves you as a son. For the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and chastises every son whom he receives. He loves you as a son. When I said son, I don't mean men specifically, because for God, we are all sons of God. Whether we are female or male, we are sons of God. So he loves you. So do not be weary, beloved. Do not be weary. Just know that he loves you. Further up, he said in verse 3, "Consider him who endures from sinners such hostility against himself." That's Jesus. He endures a lot for you and I. And he said, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. In your struggle against sins, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. Beloved, many of us, sometimes we have things in our lives we cannot stop. But the enemy has a way of putting things in our lives, that so that we may, instead of focus on God, we focus on everything else. Sometimes the sins that you cannot let go of, the enemy makes sure that you cannot get out. This is what you call, he tied you up with something that you think you cannot live without it. You think that sin, oh my God, I cannot let it go because that's all I have. Whatever the sins may be, but God today tells you he can help you. He tells you you don't have to accept to be a sinner to whatever that you love so much you cannot let go of. God says he loves you as a son. And he said you have not resisted yet. Many times we let go. Many times we have something that's not right in our lives and we have some problems. But instead of stick with God, we rather let go. We allow the sin to stay in our lives. Because listen to what God says. In Hebrew 12, he said, consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. You have not yet resisted. In other words, God gave us strength. We can resist. Sometimes we feel that, oh my God, that sin, there is no way I can let it go. But God says you have not resisted yet. You can resist. You can say no, because God gives you the ability to say no, beloved. We don't have to allow sins to rule in our heart and our body, because the enemy makes you feel that you cannot stop. Because the more you sin, the more he has a hold on you, the more that he controls you. But today, I want you to know Jesus died so we may say no to sin. Yes. He died so we may say no to whatever the situation is. We may say no. Yes to God and no to sin. Yes to God and no to anything that's not of him. Beloved, I just wanted to share this word with you. This is a 6-minute sharing. I just wanted to share this with you. It's not a long thing, but I want you to know, remember, not to be weary, because you are not alone. We just have to ask him as God to help us. Pray and say, Father, help me to be an overcomer, because we are already an overcomer on Calvary. When Jesus died, we become overcomers. So now all you have to do is to take possession of that, what he has for you. This is a 6-minute sharing, and I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do that now from time to time, to give you a 6-minute sharing, 6 to 10 minute sharing as the Holy Spirit is moving me to do that for you. May the Lord bless you. Remember, do not be weary. He loves you. You have the strength because God is with you. You are not alone. Whatever it is, you can say no to it and let go and let God. In Jesus' mighty name. May the Lord bless you. Love you. Love.